I can add within 1,000 with ease by using an algorithm or a strategy based on place value. So first, I want to go over what algorithm is. An algorithm is just a standard procedure in terms of how you do it. You know, maybe how you walk in the hall, how you line up, or how you add numbers. In this case, the algorithm we're looking at is where you put the numbers on top of each other, you line up your place values, your ones place, your tens place, your hundreds place, and then you add starting in the ones. So you do 7 plus 5, that equals 12, but you can only have one digit here. So you put the 2 down from 1, 2, and you regroup that 1 into the tens place. And then you have to add 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 8 is 15. Same thing again, you put a 5 down here for 1, 5, and then you regroup that 1. And then 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9. You end up with 952. That's your algorithm with addition. But you can also use place value strategies to figure out the sum in a problem. For example, you could break down the number 367 into 360 and 7, and then 585 into 580 and 5. And you can just add up those parts. So you do 300 plus 500 equals 800. 60 plus 80 is 140. And then 7 plus 5 is 12. And then from here, you could just do the same algorithm from here, but it's just a little bit simpler because you do 0 plus 0 plus 2, well, that's 2. And then 0 plus 4 plus 1, well, that's really just 4 plus 1, that's 5. And then 8 plus 1, well, that's 9. So it's just a little bit easier numbers to add. Here is just another way to think about it. You could do 85 plus 15 is 100, okay. So 585 plus 15 equals 600. So you take 585, make it into an easier number. And then when you add, using the standard algorithm, you add 600 plus 367. Your answer would be 0 plus 7 is 7, 0 plus 6 is 6, and then 6 plus 3 is 9, so 967. But remember, back when you thought about it like this, you added 15 on, so at the very end, you need to take away 15. So 967 minus 15, 7 minus 5 is 2, 6 minus 1 is 5, and it ends up being 952. Let's look at a word problem and different ways to solve this. There are 178 fourth graders and 225 fifth graders on the playground. What is the total number of students on the playground? So first thing I think is total number on the playground between two groups. Well, I add them together. The first way is I broke down each number. I did 178 plus 225. 100 plus 200 equals 300. 70 plus 20 is 90. And 8 plus 5 is 13. I lined up my place values again, and I did 0 plus 0 plus 3. That's 3. 9 plus 1 is 10, in which case I have to put a 0, and I do need to regroup, because here's the 0 and the 1s for 10, and 1 here. 1 plus 3 is 4, and that goes my hundreds place. My answer is 403. Or I could do the standard algorithm again. 8 plus 5 equals 13. I put a 3, and I have to regroup that 1 into the tens place. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Put a 0 down here for the 1s and the 10. And then regroup that 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 403. Both ways get the same sum. Or we could do the same problem, 178 plus 225 with place value blocks. And I'm going to do this, but before I want to kind of show you what these are. Place value blocks are these things here. This is the biggest kind you'll probably see, is the thousands place value block. There are 1,000 little tiny cubes on here. But it all starts with this little cube. This one here represents 1. And then when I get 10 of them, I go to a long. So now I have my little unit cube, and then I go to a long, which is 10. It's 10 of these. Kind of see that, hopefully. And that's what I have illustrated here. This x is going to equal 1. This line will equal 10. And then the next thing is once you get 10 of the 10s, you have 100 square. So it looks like one of them on the side, but then when I turn it this way, it's 100. And once I get 10 hundreds, I end up with 1,000. But notice our learning target said within 1,000 is where we're adding. So all of the numbers we'll be dealing with will generally be less than this, so this cube will not be used much. But these would be the ones we would focus on. And they also line up with your place values. Ones, tens, hundreds, and then when you get to it, thousands. Alright, for the purpose of this, just so we can get on board, I like to just draw pictures. The square represents 100. A little line kind of looks like a lowercase l represents 10. And an x represents 1. So to do 178 plus 225 of place value blocks, you have to represent both numbers. Here is 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, so this would be 70. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ones, so that would be 8. 178. And then 225. 100, 200, 10, 20, so 220. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 225. I want to add them together, which really all you have to do is just put them there, and now they're added together. However, what you notice is you have a lot of these little pieces, and you can combine them, like I mentioned before, that if I have 10 of these little ones, that equals 1 long. So let's count these up. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's 10. Let me circle those. And then I have 1, 2, 3 left. So, but these 10, I can trade them in for a long. And now let's count up my longs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I can kind of circle all of these longs. Oops, let's get these ones up here. Because I have exactly 10. And trade them in for a square. A 100. Remember, 10 of these longs is equal to 1 of these. So I've traded in 10. Now I'm kind of simplified. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 400. So, alright, now I'm kind of ready to read this number. Start in your hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hundreds. There's no regrouping there. I had 4, less than 10. Then go to my longs. I actually end up with I've used all of these to create 100. So I don't have any 10s. In which case you put a 0. And then finally, remember I used these ones to create a long? So I only have 1, 2, 3 left. And if you go back, 178 plus 225 equals 403. I can add within 1,000 with ease by using an algorithm or strategy based on place value. I want you to find the sum of these two numbers, 573 plus 399. I want you to do it in two ways. Solve using the algorithm, where you line them up with place value, start in the ones and add across. And one other way that I've showed you in the video. So there's different ways to think about it. Place value blocks, breaking it down by hundreds, tens, and ones, and adding just those together and coming up with a new sum. Or maybe adjusting one of the numbers to make it a little bit easier to work with, and then adjust your sum. So anyway, you can think of that, but also do it with the algorithm as well.